I want to reiterate our government's commitment to the rights of citizens.
Acts of hooliganism in the name of lawful and peaceful protests will not be condoned, President Buhari cautions.
A situation in which foreign broadcast stations arrogate to themselves the power to tell our own story, to give room for discussion and fact.
Information Minister urges indigenous broadcast outfits to tell the Nigerian stories to counter distortion of facts by some foreign media.
Our mission as custodians of population health is to build a health system that guarantees availability of universal access.
Plus, better basic health care delivery ahead as federal government unveils revised implementation guidelines. Good evening and welcome to the Network News at 9. Glad to have you join us once again. I am Kenen Ima Abolike with the news. I won't be doing this alone. We have Michael Olalayan waiting in Lagos. We'll begin with security matters, where President Muhammadu Buhari has warned that any act of hooliganism hiding behind lawful and peaceful protests will be dealt with decisively. Declaring it upon the 2020 Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference virtually, the President was emphatic there is no compromising the peace and stability of the country. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
I want to reiterate our government's commitment to the rights of citizens to embark on peaceful protests. However, this must be done responsibly and in accordance with the laws of the land.
President Muhammadu Buhari may have been responding to reports on plans by NSAS protesters to return to the streets for another round of protests. He commended the armed forces for their efforts at swiftly restoring law and order during what he called the large-scale criminality that ensued in the wake of the last protests in parts of the country.
Let me also use this opportunity to commend the Army for its unwavering commitment towards curtailing the activities of insurgents, armed bandits, kidnappers, cattle rustlers, and other violent criminals through ongoing exercises and operations in different parts of the country. Notably, the exercise Sahel Sanity, launched a few months back in the northwest states to rid the Katsina-Zamfara corridor of marauding bandits. I am happy to note that the commendable progress has been made towards attaining the objectives of the exercise.
The president also noted the tremendous successes achieved by troops during the ongoing Operation Fireball in the northeast, insisting that these efforts be sustained until the full restoration of peace and security. And with the establishment of the state-of-the-art Cyber Warfare Operations Center, President Buhari said the army in particular has remained alive to the changing nature of warfare, which is gradually moving into the cyber domain.
I commend the visionary leadership that has worked assiduously to emplace this vital capability that will fill an existing gap in our nation's security and defense architecture. On our part, I assure you that this administration will continue to do all within available resources to provide for your operational and welfare needs. We must strengthen our collective resolve to address those issues that will make every part of our country a safe and secure place to live and carry out our normal businesses.
The president is delighted that some of the major capabilities procured for the army will soon be inducted into the various theater of operations, as many more await shipment to the country. The conference has as its theme human capacity development in sustaining professionalism and responsiveness of the Nigerian Army in the discharge of its constitutional roles. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The headquarters of the Nigerian Army Cyber Warfare Command in Geri Military Cantonment has been inaugurated. The virtual inauguration of the project by President Muhammadu Buhari is part of activities marking the 2020 Chief of Army Staff Conference held in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
As the year 2020 gradually winds down, principal officers, heads of units and formations in the Nigerian Army assembled to evaluate operations and administration of the force for enhanced projection in coming year.
The armed forces of Nigeria and the Nigerian Army in particular have been in the forefront of efforts to restore peace in the country.
This conference is focused on human resource development to sustain professionalism and improve responsiveness of the Nigerian Army in the discharge of its constitutional roles.
Within the period under review, the Nigerian Army embarked on massive infrastructural development, undertook further force restructuring, conducted several local and overseas training, carried out various operations, as well as optimized logistics and its support elements, amongst others.
On the sidelines of the Chief of Army Staff Conference, the sacrifice of officers and soldiers killed in combat were recognized, and a foundation-laying ceremony of a housing scheme for the families of the deceased also took place side by side with the inauguration of a new office complex for the Nigerian Army Cyber Warfare Command in Geri Military Cantonment. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
At the meantime, the Directorate of Defense Media Operations, DMO, says the air component of Operation Thunder Strike has obliterated another camp and neutralized several armed bandits at the Kosasu area of Kaduna State. DMO Coordinator Major General John Enenche says this was achieved through airstrikes executed on December 6, 2020, after human intelligence reports and a series of aerial surveillance missions led to the identification of the camp of a bandit leader known as Alhaji Labi, an associate of Dogon Gede, another notorious bandit leader in Katsina State. Nigerian Air Force fighter aircraft attacked the location, delivering devastating hits which destroyed the bandit structures and neutralized several armed bandits. The Armed Forces of Nigeria says it remains resolute along with other agencies in the fight against banditry and other crimes. Now, the House of Representatives says that any statement that does not emanate from the recognized minority leadership or majority leadership caucus does not reflect position of members and should therefore be disregarded. In a statement, Chairman of the House Committee on Media and Publicity, Benjamin Kalu, says comments in circulation calling for the president's impeachment credited to Representative Kingsley Chinda of the PDP does not represent even the weakest of opinion of the minority caucus of the 9th House, as it lost that opportunity having failed to secure the position of minority leader now occupied by Ndodi Elumelu. The statement stressed that the House will not be distracted and remains focused to have an interactive session with Mr. President to enable members make inputs to solutions he is seeking. Members of the National Assembly from Kaduna State have advocated for restructuring of the country's security architecture and introduction of community policing to tackle security challenges bedeviling the country. This was during a security meeting with the Kaduna State Executive Council members, traditional rulers and local government chairman in Kaduna. Muhammad Umar Ajingi was there.
Worried by the level of insecurity in the state, the lawmakers are back home at this meeting with key stakeholders with a view to finding solutions to the issue so their constituents can enjoy peace without fear of being attacked by government. Senators Ubasani and Abdul Kwari, along with their House of Representatives counterparts, were briefed by the State Commissioner of Internal Security, Samuel Arwan, on efforts being made by the state government and security agencies. At the end of the meeting, Senator Ubasani briefed journalists on far-reaching decisions.
The first step to be taken is to look into the structuring. For me, restructuring means different things for different people, because we believe there must be state police if we want to solve the problem of insecurity in this country.
It was resolved that the security engagement meeting will be held with other critical stakeholders until lasting peace is restored to Kaduna State. I am Muhammad Marajingi, NTA News.
Away from security matters now, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has challenged broadcast practitioners in the country to take the lead in telling the Nigerian story in order to guard against distortion of facts by a section of the foreign media. The minister gave the charge at the inauguration of Ogoilu 89.3 FM station on the stable of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria in Oko, Oyo State. Anthony Forsen completes the story.
Calling on the nation's broadcasters to take the lead in telling the Nigerian story, especially by informing the people about the various programs and policies of government and their impact on the people.
A situation in which foreign broadcast stations arrogate to themselves the power to tell our own story, leaves room for distortion of facts, the type of which we saw recently when CNN reported that 38 people were killed at Lekki toll gate.
He was quick to note that a situation where local media organizations rely on foreign media and even quote them is dangerous and must stop. To underscore the power of radio, the minister referred to this website, www.lifelineenergy.org, which says radio goes where new technology can't, making it the most potent way of delivering information to remote areas where having the right knowledge can make the difference between harvest and hunger.
And the local broadcast media lived up to its billing. CNN, we have relied on them for news about NSAS in particular and other happenings in Nigeria in general.
He commended the Chairman House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values, Olusegun Odebumi, for initiating the project, which is today the first radio station to come on stream by a parliamentarian.
What we are commissioning today will hopefully remove our people from the circle of lack of proper information-based ignorance to a new dawn of well-informed society.
Director General of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Mansour Liman, expressed gratitude to President Muhammadu Buhari.
We, the management of FRCN, can only say a big thank you for everything that you have done and continue to do to make sure that FRCN gets the right funding within the limited resources of the government to be able to discharge our responsibility of providing information, educating people, and also entertaining the larger populace.
Religious and traditional rulers who graced the occasion all expressed gratitude to the federal government and the member representing their constituency, saying they now have the capacity to listen and be listened to. Anthony Forsen, NTA News.
Let's talk health. Towards a universal health care service delivery and coverage and affordability, stakeholders are sourcing for healthcare funds from available avenues. Kolo Mohammed reports that the Federal Ministry of Health unveiled the revised implementation guideline for Basic Healthcare Provision Fund at a media briefing in Abuja.
Nigerian healthcare sector's next level agenda is to have Nigerians at all sectors enjoy affordable healthcare service delivery wherever they are in the country. Minister of Health says the federal government is looking at securing the present and the future of Nigerians health-wise.
Our mission as custodians of population health is to build a health system that guarantees availability of universal access to appropriate, equitable, comprehensive, affordable, efficient, and quality health care for Nigerians.
Stakeholders, donor agencies, and support partners specified areas of strength in how to improve current efforts. The revised implementation guideline for Basic Healthcare Provision Fund for the country was unveiled. In Abuja, Kolo Mohammed, NTA News.
And to give us more insight, join me in welcoming the Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Hanire, on Network News tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We just watched your report on where you were briefing. the media on government's agenda to deliver the universal health coverage to Nigerians. Now, can you speak more on that agenda? And by that would mean, what is Mr. President's health agenda?
Well, the agenda is universal health coverage, as you just mentioned. And to have universal health coverage, first you must have the platforms. That is to say, you must have the facilities where people can attend. Secondly, you must have the human resource for health, doctors, nurses, and community health workers. Then you must have the financing, the health financing. All of these are brought together by the various divisions and agencies of the government. The Primary Healthcare Development Agency works to create one primary healthcare center in every ward. The National Health Insurance Scheme is working to set up a financing mechanism to be able to deliver health care. And then we work with the state governments and local governments to provide the human resource for health, who will operate these primary healthcare centers and provide health closer to the people.
You mentioned the financing aspect of the project. How do you intend to achieve that, especially with the COVID-19 changing everything globally?
Well, the COVID-19, for one thing, has been a big disruption of activities, but has also afforded opportunity to recalibrate, to review your health system. Even before COVID-19, His Excellency, the President, had approved the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, which is 1% of consolidated revenue. And the National Health Insurance Scheme launched a project called the GIF SHIP. That is to say, it's a group insurance for individuals, families, and for communities who will pay a minimum amount of 15,000 per year to be able to access health care. This is voluntary. And there is a law expected very soon on mandatory health insurance for Nigerians.
Now, Nigerians will be wondering how the poorest of the poor will be able to key in.
Yeah, that's exactly where the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund comes in. It is supposed to provide free, when I say free, I mean that they don't have to pay it, the state pays it, free service. We have a social register that key in.
So in that regard, what support do you want from the ordinary Nigerian in this project?
Well, the support is first of all the understanding that it is there.
Number one.
And then to call for participation of all those who are able to. The contribution by the National Health Insurance Scheme, for example, and then the cooperation with the local authorities in running and managing and overseeing the primary healthcare center when they are set up in the communities.
Thank you very much for speaking with us here on the news tonight, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much for inviting me and for the opportunity to clarify.
All right. We'll be talking with the Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Ehanire. Time to take time out for some messages. The news continues in a moment. Stay with the NTA.
Everybody listen up. Let me tell you something. Better service don't lie. Don't just sit down and look. Star 990. Now it be the code. To send money, it done days. Anywhere you can know.
Confirm say they be member of our party during this exercise. We go start from December 12, 2020, reach January 9, 2021. All our members wey never register and those wey dey home for all the wards wey dey our states for the same time. No waste time. Join our party so that you go fit contribute to progress and better governance for we country. My country people, no forget say if you join our party today, it go give you power to contest for election and play role for the government of our country. E never finish o. If you register, you go even get power to choose who go be our party candidate for all our political positions for government. Go register now.
Dermatologically tested Bevan Baby diapers makes babies happy with elastic side bands, breathable external layers, barrier to help prevent leakage, and makes families happy with its affordable price.
Imagine the joy that fills your heart when you have just given birth. Whatever your size, we got you. Don't just buy a mattress, buy a Vitafoam mattress.
The next decade of breakthroughs reinforces post-pandemic recovery, offering the over 100,000 visitors a real live platform to explore opportunities and challenges beyond COVID-19.
Just like in 2019, a total of 10 Nigerian startups are participating in this year's GITEX, and they will be exploring networking opportunities
in organization in air travel across the globe. Correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro brings us the focus of the day.
Every 5 years, the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO Council, establishes a special anniversary theme for the International Civil Aviation Day. Advancing innovation for global aviation development has been the focus since 2019, and this will run into 2023. How is Nigeria keen into this aviation technology?
Advancing airspace technology in Nigeria will move forward from total radar coverage to CPDLC, the cockpit pilot data link, and to equally
went viral. Lynn Neneke, who monitored the situation at the Lekki toll gate in Lagos, reports that there was total calm along the axis.
The ambience at Lekki toll gates depicted normal vehicular movement with no indication of gathering of any group of people, as against insinuations of regrouping of NSAS protesters, with warnings coming from the Inspector General of Police that the country can no longer risk another round of protests. Police officers and other security operatives were on red alerts.
I think it's not going to be fine at this period of time, judging by the instances, how frequent harassment of SARS on boys and girls, even general, even adults, not only young people, it's not rampant again.
The NSAS, me, I'm not in support of that one.
October 20th, 2020 remains a day to remember, as it marks are still noticeable on Lekki toll gate, which was once a revenue-generating venture.
In Nigeria, the first to manufacture Nigerian-made Wi-Fi meter, as well as the leading innovator of presidential next-level look power substation enhancement panel across all distribution companies. Not resting on its hours, the company has again unveiled the distribution power enhancement panel and dual tariff meter.
That panel means that there can be mixed-grid, hybrid in such a way that PACN or the DISCO will have power. If they don't have power, another source of power can come in. It can be a renewable power, it can be solar, it can be wind, it can be any other form of power that will be infused into that panel.
Aware that skill is power, the company granted free training to over 200 young Nigerians drawn from across the nation in meter installation, meter audit management, artificial intelligence and embedded system design, and communication skills, among others.
I've never been in a position where I've been exposed to learn the practical things like here in Momas.
There were goodwill messages from some state governors, energy experts, and other industry players.
To create an enabling environment for public-private partnership,
we are going to take this initiative into our arms, around with it.
Management of the company says Momas Electric Company will leave nothing to chance to ensure Nigeria's power sector competes favorably with its counterparts the world over. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
This is NTA.
And for you, impossibilities do not exist. Experience limitless possibilities with the all-new Infinix Note 8. Infinix, the future is now.
Wow. Sticky, spicy, sweet.
Don't touch me. I will get you arrested.
Carefully, very, very witty.
Breathability, Molfix has the dryness all the mothers dream of, so the babies will not experience any rash. Babies are always comfortable. Mothers are too, because they don't need to worry about ventilation. Thanks to Molfix Air Dry, now babies and mothers enjoy the ultimate peace. Come and join the mothers who experience Molfix Air Dry.
All new Infinix Note 8. Infinix, the future is now.
That match was crazy.
Ogbeo, I won! 1 million naira, don't buy it.
Wow! I told you, bro. Honorable promo to buy it is real.
Tunde, what buy
hey, my girl. Swale Baba mi.
David, what buy
Honorable.
And my darling Joy.
Yes, baby.
What buy
You could become the next millionaire in the honorable promo. Talk by ye to enter. Look under the crown cork of your bottle for a code. Then dial star 8011 star your code. To honorable promo. Talk by ye.
Thank you for staying with us. President Muhammadu Buhari has renominated Mr. Ahmed Kudu as Managing Director, Mr. Eberechukwu Uneze and Mr. Aminu Ismail as Executive Directors of the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, for the final term of 5 years. This was contained in a letter to the President of the Senate, C4 2020. Now, BUA Group has so far committed about 8 billion naira to the fight against COVID-19 in the areas of food supply, medical equipment, infrastructure, and cash donations. Director of Government Relations of the BUA Group, Aliyu Idihong, disclosed this while presenting 50,000 face masks and 3 fully equipped ambulances to the Bauchi State Government. Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed reports.
First and foremost, I should apologize to you.
Aliu Idi Hong, the former State Minister of Health, presented the ambulances to Governor Bala Muhammad on behalf of the chairman, BUA Group, Abdul Samad Ishaq Rabiu.
Are not out of it yet because in recent time we have seen even in Nigeria the numbers are increasing, and all those proactive positions that the state government have been doing should continue, and that is why he's given his own token support to the state.
On his part, Governor Bala Muhammad commended BUA Group for rendering such humanitarian services that will boost not only the fight against COVID-19 but services in the state health sector.
We are very, very appreciative. Convey our deepest appreciation and tell him that we are readily available for any partnership that he would want to do. Because we know he's a household name in terms of some of the items that he produces in this country.
Governor Bala Muhammad has handed over the ambulances and face masks to the State Task Force Chairman on COVID-19. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad, NTA News.
The Chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabri Erewa.
Freshness, tough on stains, with longer-lasting freshness. New Omo Extra Fresh with longer-lasting freshness.
Welcome to your online ballroom dance lesson.
Nobody's perfect, but some are unstoppable.
I'm unstoppable.
Power Horse, unstoppable you.
With gratitude to God for a most remarkable and worthy life, the Ndoma Egba Onono family of Cross River State and Anambra State respectively announce the transition to eternal glory of our wife, mother, grandmother, sister, auntie, in-law, and friend. Mrs. Emaka Lauret Ndoma Egba, nee Onono, died on the 19th November 2020 at the age of 54 years. She was OFR, CON, son, former Senate leader and former chairman, NDDC, husband, Hugo and Nneoma Ndoma Egba, son and daughter-in-law, Zara Ndoma Egba, daughter, Kami Ndoma Egba, daughter, Adora August Ndoma Egba, granddaughter, Mrs. Ngozi Adolo, sister, Mr. Thomas Ono Jr., brother, Mrs. Ifeyema Menkiti, sister, Mrs. Cynthia Edozie,